Part 2. Azure Moon. Guardian Moon. The Delusional Prince. Prince Dimitri and the remnants of the royal army join with the remaining Knights of Seiros to form a revitalized kingdom army. Using Garreg Mach as their base of operations, they rise to action against the Empire.
You? So you were alive after all.
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Ah, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Gilbert has told us everything. From here on, our strength is yours as well.
Does my heart well to see that all of you are safe. Now that we have all gathered, let's discuss our next course of action.
We have two objectives: to overthrow the Empire and to rescue Rhea. I have no objection to joining forces with you. After all, our interests are aligned.
Nothing could be more reassuring than securing the cooperation of the Knights of Seiros.
The Archbishop entrusted all of her affairs to you. From now on, I shall comply with your wishes.
We'll make Garreg Mach our base, and prepare to make our stand against the Empire. There is a fair amount of damage, but we will at least have shelter from the wind and rain.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
While it may be a strategic location, it's too far from the front lines to be worthy of notice at the moment. This area is inconvenient as far as transport time is concerned, so it's of little importance to their war effort.
Even so, nothing slips past the Emperor. It is safe to assume she at least has this place under surveillance.
Professor, what do you think about making this place our base? Fortunately, there are still villages and hamlets nearby, and though I wouldn't call them abundant, we have war funds as well. What do you think, Your Highness?
Do as you please.
Hey, don't act like this doesn't concern you. We finally reunited after all this time. We've got to work together.
She's right. In fact, why don't we all join forces and clean this place up a bit?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And it'll give us time to reminisce about all the good old days at the Academy. I can't wait.
How carefree of you.
It may sound trivial, but, well, I think it's a good idea.
I understand feeling impatient, Your Highness, but patience is key at a time like this. If we fix up our base, it will improve morale, which will be sorely needed as we...
Fools. Stay out of this.
Please, calm yourself, Your Highness. We are not your enemies.
My enemies say the same.
What happened to him? It's like he's a completely different person.
I feel so bad for him. Would it help if I brewed him a nice pot of tea?
I cannot claim to understand how he feels. However, the way he's behaving, it's as though he's being haunted by some unseen force. Perhaps.
Oh, hi, Professor. Do you remember what we talked about before? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and I was busy all day, and that's why I decided to now that I have a day off. Please, you have to help me. I tried that. I'm sorry. Oh, you're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep. If you do, please, I'm at my wits' end. Got it. I'll try. This candy is so... Ooh, and speaking, I'd love to be able to make such nice tea. Oh, Professor, I'll do my best to learn. Oh, sorry. So, why is it I try and try? Professor, you're right. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? You've listened to me. Honestly.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. Quite delicious. Hmm? Yes, I agree. Hmm? Oh no. Hmm? Are you sure? Oh no. Thank you for the treat. I had such a great time.
Here you are.
Oh, were you looking for me, Felix?
You were injured in the last battle. Are you okay?
I'm fine now. Thank you for your concern.
You really are troublesome.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to get in your way out there. I just couldn't help but worry. I was only trying to keep an eye on you.
What are you even doing on the battlefield? You endangered yourself.
Yes, of course.
If you
Are you sure?
You can...
Hmm?
You can keep thinking of me as your little brother.
But I thought you didn't like that.
I am fed up with it. I've already... My older brother inspired love and respect since his death. His mem...
Oh.
I don't let my personal feelings distract me on the battlefield. Still, do I really remind you of him?
Well, you don't look like him. It just makes me want to protect you. That's not to say that you're incapable, or in fact, it's quite the opposite.
You need to pay attention to your surroundings. Your lives are at stake, including mine when I have to run over and save your skin.
Yes.
Why are you
You're
still I'm fine.
I could have handled the situation.
Yes, yeah. I feel a bit lost without fulfilling that dream. And I think... So I want to protect...
That's why you were protecting me.
Foolish to act in line with what I value. I've been reading through more of that book. I recall the hypothetical question.
You've been reading
The book never... Instead, it suggested that one should follow their...
That's just the...
Of course. Glenn died following his heart. His death pains me to that I will follow his example.
You know nothing.
What is it that you know?
My own...
I see no difference from...
You don't understand.
You fight to be stronger than everyone. That you might protect those you care for. Correct?
Okay, fine. My point is, don't let this happen again. If you died, I'd be... annoyed.
To avoid annoyance, then, I suggest you continue to grow stronger. If that happens...
Mercedes.
Good evening, Sylvain. Thank you for coming out to see me.
Just the two of us meeting at this time of night? You moved quicker than I thought.
I don't know what speed has to do.
Ah, okay.
I can be so forgetful. I meant to say,
Huh?
your parents have placed a and it's all because...
All of the kingdom's noble houses expect I'm no different from any other.
But didn't you mention that your...
Thinking about it.
Didn't you also mention that women were only interested in having your, as you say, crest baby? I'm not very interested in the particulars, but I get the feeling that you
I'd appreciate it if maybe you kept that observation between the two of us.
Your secrets, I understand, but
I know you've got your...
that's why you've come now.
Mercedes, was my sad smile really that bad?
Not at all. You actually look more handsome to me with honesty on your face.
Aw. Here go...
Don't be ashamed. Will you protect me in return?
I will. I promise. You know, Mercedes, you really are a special lady.
That battle was a decent challenge, but when push came to shove, they didn't have a chance. Before long, all of the church's enemies will have been destroyed.
You must really love worshipping the church. Or is it just Rhea?
Lady Rhea. You're the only one in the Knights who doesn't address her with the proper respect. It's not just that I worship Lady Rhea. I respect her, admire her, revere her.
I don't get the Ceros religion. Or Rhea.
Shamir, if you were anyone else, I would cut you down for saying that. She saved your life.
She did, and that's why I fight for her. Doesn't mean I worship her.
You never change. You're so stubborn.
You're the stubborn one. When we're on missions related to Rhea, it's like you're wearing blinders. Wanting to help her is admirable, but you'll be of no use if you get yourself killed.
I don't plan on getting killed. I've devoted my heart to Lady Rhea. She's the reason I wield my sword.
As long as you don't get killed or cause me any trouble, I don't really care.
So my death would cause you trouble?
That's not what I meant.
Let's give it a rest. There's no point in arguing.
Fine, but I want you to know something. It's not easy to put your life in the hands of someone who doesn't share your beliefs.
I understand. I think we can both agree on that.
This will do.
How? We have a gift already, so Your Highness, I have a request.
Got a favor to ask.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business. You have a good eye. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing... Come again.
Oh, hello there.
There's so... He was always...
I need a favor.
Hey, I could use a hand.
What? Professor. Oh.
Speaking of which... Professor. Do you have a moment?
Do you have time for a request?
Perhaps I should probably keep what matters to me more than anything is ensuring a peaceful, quiet future for my parents. I don't care about the kingdom. I simply want to remove the threat of the Empire. Because of this, Dimitri's fixation on Edelgard is convenient to me. I fight for my own reasons and no others.
Hello.
Professor.
Listen.
Professor. Thanks for your help out there. It may be, but I feel I can... Don't we all? But, judging by the result, I've also noticed that you've been almost like you know I won't question your orders. Huh! I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leading the... Funny to think your old students still... That's no title for the commander. You'll always be their professor, huh? You sure are. My people lost the war, and you look confused. I was living in my homeland of Dagda, but being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. Don't worry, though.
Hello there.
Professor. I'm gonna keep at it for a while longer. I can't. Not when I'm right on the cusp of using my... Surely... I'm sorry, Professor. I can't... 18 years ago, House Ordelia was involved in a civil conflict within the Empire. All we did was respond to a call for aid, but once the rebellion was crushed, at the time, the noble houses of the Alliance. As a result, some key officials within the family were killed. Among those people were some mysterious mages, one after another. They began performing terrible rituals on with the Empire monitoring our every move, one after another. The children died, till the only one left was me. You know, my hair wasn't always this color. During their experiments, They'd been doing things with my blood. One morning, I awoke like this. Upon seeing me, the mages were delighted. They realized that their experiments had finally succeeded. Sure enough, they ran a test and saw that 2 crests coexisted within me. Losing pigment from my hair wasn't the only loss. The mages informed me that my lifespan was now greatly shortened. 5 more years at most, perhaps less. Shortly thereafter, the mages lost interest in me, and we never saw them in the Ordelia household again. Since all that, our family has been in decline. It's challenging now even to govern our territory. After all my mother and father have suffered, I at least want them to have peace as they grow older. That is all I wish for, but I haven't much time to ensure it comes to pass. It's not like what's been done to me can be undone. Professor, the only way I can conceive of would be to remove my crest somehow. But I don't know if that's even remotely possible. Even if it were, I wouldn't be of much use to you and the others without my crests. You sound resolved. I'll allow your resolve to bolster my own. Thank you, Professor.
Oh. Professor... I will not... It's been a while since I had such a close call. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple... You should be asking about the mission, not about me. I have to ask, Professor. So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you. These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here. Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen, in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course. I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. We were tasked with battling monsters, but we were ambushed. I almost died. Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her. For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind. You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though. Just because I want to.
Professor. Apologies for bothering you so late. Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle. This isn't something I open up about with many, feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry, for the benefit of the Galatea family. Defying my father feels wrong. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained. Even though, knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble. To follow both my dream and my duty? I had never considered that as an option. Perhaps there is a way. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
Let's see.
Professor. Finally, I not...
Well...
Need something? See you again soon.
Hi there!
Oh, good. Thanks.
You've done me a great service.
All for Lady Rhea. Fighting is what I do. Is that all? I'll never back down. I won't hold back. Is that all? All for Lady Rhea.
The flip. That?
Yeah.
It's app.
This looks delicious.
appreciate...
Ooh, this is my favorite. My pet.
And Lady, know that wherever you might lead us, good, because...
Yes. 5. The Church of Seros will follow you from now.
Thank you.
Professor? Ma, at your... No,
May I help you, Sedith?
Finally noticed me, I see.
Do you have...
No, this is not a military matter.
Distant?
I have noticed that you like...
They don't share...
Is that what...
You seem to... I suppose...
That's not... I am sure there are limits. To put it... Because I know...
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I am talking about friends. People to speak with on equal terms. You have many friends here.
I'll consider your advice.
To be young.
quite in... I'm just... Of course... It was nothing.
It was perseverance. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Natural. Natural. There is... That...
Thank... You're...
That was just... Practice is paying off.
There's something I'd like to ask you. Oh, of course.
Professor.
Come, we have work to do.
Fine.
A fine result. Technique never betrays.
The utter discord. I cannot stand it. I do wish everyone would listen to one another.
Singing with others is a nice change of pace. Usually I do it when I'm alone.